In this video, we are going to discuss how you can score better in your CS exams by using the legal maxims in your answers. The legal maxim that we have selected for today is actionable per se. What does actionable per se mean? Let's have a look at it. Actionable per se means that the very action is punishable, no proof of damage is required. So, whenever there is an action which is wrong, it is punishable, then no further proof of damage is required. So, this concept is generally applied in law of torts. Actionable per se means legally it is sufficient to support a lawsuit in itself and no further proof of damages is required to be submitted before the court for proving that there is some wrong. In such actions, the plaintiff does not have to prove that he suffered any damages in order to have a cause of action. So, the wrong itself is punishable irrespective of whether a person has suffered a damage or not because of such wrongful act. Let's have a look at the explanation. The phrase actionable per se means that certain actions do not require the allegations or proof of additional facts to constitute a cause of action. For example, trespass. If an individual trespasses a private property of another individual, then there is a wrongful act, that is trespass, and irrespective of whether the individual owner of the private property suffers any damage or not, an action and cause of action lies against the person who intrudes into the private property, and no additional facts or proofs for damages are required to be submitted for proving the case. So, in such actions, the plaintiff does not have to prove that he suffered any damage in order to have a cause of action. When the act itself is wrongful, it does not matter whether the act has led to certain damages or not. Irrespective of the damages suffered or not, the party can be held liable for the conducting of the wrongful act. This actionable per se is without proof of any damage, there is a cause of action. Best example for this is injuria sine damnum, where there is a violation of a legal right and there is no suffering of any damage. Even then, there is a remedy available, and that is a clear case of actionable per se. For example, in case of assault, battery, false imprisonment, libel, or trespass on land, the mere wrongful act is actionable and it is immaterial that the plaintiff has suffered damages or not as a result of the act. So, the basis is the existence of a wrongful act which is sufficient for the cause of action, irrespective of whether a particular person has suffered any damage or not because of the occurrence of such wrongful act. So, in simple terms, actionable per se means there is an occurrence of a wrongful act which is sufficient for you to have a cause of action, and it is immaterial whether you have suffered any damage or not. But if you are a victim of a wrongful act, you will have a cause of action before the court. The concept of actionable per se has its origin from the Australian law. However, the word per se has its origin from Latin, which means by itself. So, the wrongful act by itself is sufficient to have a cause of action, irrespective of whether a person has suffered a damage or not. And this has been clearly explained. Let's have a look at certain examples to understand the concept better. Trespass is said to be actionable per se. What does this mean? This means that there is a violation of a legal right and therefore it is actionable whether the damages is proved or not. So, as already stated, there should be a wrongful act, and the wrongful act here is trespass. And with such trespass, whether or not the owner of the property has suffered any damage, there will be a cause of action and a case or a file or a suit can be filed. For example, A is the owner of a property and it has been properly fenced. and B is a person who illegally intrudes into the property of A, but A has not suffered any damage because of B entering the property. However, even in these cases, A can file a suit against B for illegally entering into his private property. So there is a violation of the right of A, and in this case, A can file a suit against B irrespective of whether he has suffered any damage or not because of entering of B into his property. Example number 2. Negligence is not actionable per se. It is not actionable per se. And why is this? Why is negligence not actionable per se? Because whether something amounts to negligence or not is dependent upon the facts and instance of each case. So, when you compare this to example number 1, trespass is evident. Crossing a particular boundary means you have trespassed and there is no further proof required to prove it. Whereas in case of negligence, where one person considers something to be negligence, another person might not consider it to be negligent. So, in this case of negligence, it is on the basis of instant case that you will determine whether it is something that caused negligence or not. So, it is not actionable per se, and you have to prove that a particular act has been done negligently. Therefore, it is not actionable per se, meaning to say that the proof of damage is an essential element in the tort of negligence. And the same is applicable also in the case of nuisance. What amounts to nuisance for one person may not amount nuisance to another person, and therefore whether a particular act is a nuisance or not will be determined on the basis of facts of each and every case by itself. So in this case, there is a proper proof of damage and proof of wrongful act, whether the wrongful act has been occurred or not, also has to be proved. So in this case, this is not actionable per se. Let's have a look at example number 3. An act can be made actionable per se by a statute, by the constitution, or by case law, that is the judicial precedents. So now whenever we say that trespass is actionable per se, negligence is not actionable per se, nuisance is not actionable per se, who determines whether a particular wrongful act is actionable per se or not? That is determined by the statute itself, by the constitution, or by the judicial precedents or the case laws that is already decided. Case laws can form the basis for other judgments. So this is the concept of actionable per se, wherein wherever there is a wrongful act committed that is sufficient to support a lawsuit in itself, irrespective of the fact whether a damage has been occurred or not because of the happening of such wrongful act. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can check for the other legal maxims in the description below. And yeah, please let us know in the comments box if you understood the legal maxim. See you in the next video with another legal maxim.